Bellwork for today is adding and subtracting with positive and negative numbers. We are going to zoom in on number 1. This already has an adding sign right here, so I'm just going to label the numbers. 9.5 is positive, 5.25 is negative. If these are different, that means you should subtract. Different means subtract. I'm going to put the biggest number on top. I'm going to line up the decimals. 9.75 minus 5.25. When you subtract, you get 0.50 and then a 4. The biggest number was the 9.5. So that means the sign is going to stay with the biggest number. So my answer would just be positive 4.5. Scooting over to this next question to the right, this has a subtract sign in the front or in the middle. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to rewrite the question and we are going to do keep, change, change. I'm going to keep the first number at negative 13. I'm going to change the subtract to be a plus, and I'm going to change the negative 5.25 to be a positive 5.25. Now that I have these new numbers, I'm going to label them. 13 is negative, 5.25 is positive. When these numbers are different, we subtract. They're on different teams. If you play sports, one team is Sanger, one team is Crun. If they're on opposite teams, we subtract to see which team has more. So 13 is a whole number, but I need to make it a decimal so I can line up the 5.25. And then I'm going to subtract because the signs were different. This question is going to have me borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 2 minus 5 is not possible, so I'm going to borrow. And now do 12 minus 5 is 7. Then I'm going to look back and I'm going to see which number was biggest. It was the 13. And the 13 was negative, so that means the sign in the answer is going to be negative. So negative 7.75. The second row, the middle of this has a subtract sign, so I'm going to do keep, change, change. Keep the first number, negative 14. Change the subtract to be add, and change the positive 9 to be negative 9. Now I'm going to label the numbers. 14 is negative, 9 is negative. If these are the same, they're on the same team, Sanger and Sanger, I would add. So 14 plus 9 is 23. And then the biggest number was 14, and it was negative, so the answer would be negative. Oops, 14.5. Super sorry about that. So it would be 23.5 and then negative. Okay, to this side, the next question also has the subtract sign in the middle. So we want to do keep, change, change. So we can make this have an adding symbol in the middle. Keep 7, change the subtract to be an add, and change the negative 2 to be a positive 2. Now this just says 7 plus 2, and that's 9. The bottom row, again, if I see the subtract sign in the middle, I'm going to do keep, change, change. Keep 3.75. Change the subtract to be add. Change negative 1.25 to be positive 1.25. Now these numbers are the same. They're both just regular positive numbers, so I'm going to line up the decimals and then add 3.75. plus 1.25. 5 plus 5 is 10. 7 plus 1 plus 2 is 10. Bring my decimal down. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. You can either say the answer is just 5 or 5.00. Last question. Again, I'm looking in the center. I see that it has a subtract sign, so I'm going to do keep, change, change. Keep the 12 negative. Change the subtract to be add, and change the 7 to be -7. Now when I label these, I have a negative number and a negative number. So these are on the same team, Sanger and Sanger. I would just add them together. 12 plus 7 is 19. And the biggest number was 12, and it was a negative number, so the answer is negative.